morning and welcome back to the program. Today we're discussing programs that impact families and strengthen families. And now we've been joined by Marie James. She is a nurse consultant with the Nurse Family Partnership National Service Office. We appreciate you coming on the program to talk about your wonderful work.
Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's an honor and pleasure to have you on the program to talk about this vital work through the Nurse Family Partnership. Now, for people who have never heard of this program, what is it?
Thank you for asking. The Nurse Family Partnership is an evidence-based, nationally recognized nurse home visiting program that works to transform the lives of pregnant women with their first child. And we accomplish this by partnering that mother with a registered nurse who has the privilege to go into the client's home or our mother's home and provide services to her. They basically work together around three goals: improving pregnancy outcomes, improving child health and development outcomes, and also improving the economic self-sufficiency of the mother and her family. But what's unique about the NFP, the nurses also partner with the mothers to help them to determine what's their heart's desire, to help them to set goals so that they can be the parents that they want to be.
I think all parents need this support.
Yes.
And I think it's great that the nurse comes into the home and educates the mother. That's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
Now, is this program successful?
Oh, yes, it is. I'm going to say yes, it is, because we know that it is an evidence-based program. As my colleague Bud mentioned earlier, decades of randomized clinical controls show that NFP produces incredible outcomes with the families it serves. Outcomes such as a 48% reduction in child abuse and neglect, as well as a 20% reduction in the months on welfare. We're also seeing outcomes where mothers are returning to labor force to become active participants working in their community. We're seeing increases in fathers participating in the home. So these are key things that prove that this is a very viable program.
It sounds like it is, and we want to find out more about the history and how long it's been here in North Carolina.
Yes, Nurse Family Partnership has been in North Carolina since 2000. The first program launched in Guilford County. Then in 2008, a group of public and private partners came together to discuss the maternal and child health challenges that were happening in North Carolina. They realized that North Carolina needed more than a program that would improve birth outcomes, but a program that could really work to encourage families to break that cycle of poverty. So what they decided to do was to invest in the NFP program. And since 2008, the program has been expanded to many counties here in North Carolina.
I love you because you're so passionate about this issue.
Yes.
I can tell it in your voice. Why are you so committed to these issues, this issue?
I truly believe that we cannot pick who our parents are. And sometimes we're born into environments we don't have control of. And without knowledge, resources, and information, how do we expect things to change? So I'm a firm believer in that if we can give families opportunities and to really provide them with the knowledge, the skill, and the tools to help them make the best decisions and choices that they think for their family. Our program, we don't tell them what to do. We help them to explore and give them the knowledge and let them process, reflect, and we connect with their inner desires, their abilities, their reasons, and their needs to want to be an important parent. And sometimes people just need the tools and the information, and that's what Nurse Family Partnership is able to do.
So when parents have the right information, the right tools, they can be successful. We know parenting is very difficult for anybody.
Yes.
But for many people, they don't have the resources in their family to be successful. But if they do, they can be a very successful, productive family.
I agree with you. I think it's a matter of having opportunity, and then we know that the culture of poverty. Right now, that it's hard. Let's be real. It's very hard.
Very
parents
difficult.
are working. Parents are stressed. So sometimes people are making choices with the best information that they have by coming in and letting them know that there are other ways to do things, and the importance of working with babies, because babies come into this world a blank slate. And it's through caring, competent, nurturing, parenting behaviors that children can grow. So we come in to partner with the mother and provide these resources so they'll be able to begin to engage with their baby, but not only think about the baby, but then also what is it that they desire? How can they be productive? What do they want for their family? How do they do that? So the nurses are able to come in and provide that information. But what's unique about our program, that as a professional nurse, especially during the pregnancy, it's so important that we're in there always assessing. So what makes our program unique is, as a nurse, I can come in and look at her ankles to see if she has edema. I can look at her face to see if it's swollen and begin to talk about premature labor. So then that way we're having cost savings because I can connect her with her family doctor or her practitioner so she can go in and hopefully be assessed. And if there is a complication, we're on it.
Okay. Why did you want to be a nurse?
Oh my goodness.
My mom always wanted to be a nurse and she never did become one. But what is the passion behind being a nurse?
At first, I thought I was going to be a doctor, but then when I went to school, I realized I had some medical issues when I was younger, and it was always the nurse. And nothing against doctors. We need our doctors.
Yeah, we need both of you.
Yes, we do. But it's the nurse that actually gives the caregiving. It's the nurse that is able to sit beside the bedside and be able to encourage that person and tap into their desires, as I mentioned before. But then it's also the nurses. We are educators. It's very important to have adequate information, and knowledge is power. So by having knowledge, so I always wanted to be able to give back to the community because I feel like I've been privileged and blessed to be raised with two parents that instilled in me the importance of giving. Because it's not about us. It's about we are our brother and sister's keeper, to be able to share resources, information, and knowledge so that as a community we can prosper together.
And I salute nurses. The nurses, they work hard on their feet in these hospitals. They visit people in homes. So we commend nurses out there for the hard work they do. Can you share a story about this program and how it has really impacted people?
Yes, thank you for asking that, because it's our stories that make our program so powerful and impactful. I would like to share the story of Elizabeth. Elizabeth is from Gaston County, and Elizabeth was referred to the Nurse Family Partnership through her health department. She was 21 weeks pregnant. She completed the 10th grade and she was unemployed. But within a few months of partnering with her Nurse Family Partnership nurse, she delivered a healthy baby girl, all while obtaining her GED, securing employment for her, finding safe housing for her and her child. She also got her driver's license and a car. And what's so unique about this program, Elizabeth said that her NFP nurse, Sandra, was instrumental in her achieving her goals, that she believed in her and partnered with her and encouraged her to set small goals. And it's only a small change that is necessary to begin her new path as a parent.
I think it's wonderful because each step they take, they are successful. In that step, they move on to the next step, and they look back, they really have accomplished something.
Yes, definitely. And people don't understand. Sometimes people want this massive change, but it's through the little ones that build up upon each other that leads the path to success.
Let's talk more about the program and how people can get involved. I know you have a website that people can go to and find out about the program.
Yes, we do have a website. It's nfpnc.org. Please, nfpnc.org. You can go there and look at media hits. You can look at our newsletters. You can find out about what's going on. But more importantly, we really want you to get involved. If you know of a first-time pregnant woman that needs additional support and resources, encouragement, please refer her to the NFP. And if you don't, you can personally get involved through our Community Advisory Board, because everyone can play a role to ensure that our families in North Carolina are healthy, prosperous, and that communities are thriving.
That's true. I mean, that is a wonderful message, because this impacts all of us. When a child is successful, this child can grow up to be a success in the community, and it can impact lives in the community. So we all benefit from the work that you guys are doing. Let's talk about some of the services the national office provides for our local offices.
Yes, thank you. I am a national service office employee as a nurse consultant, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because the NSO is very fundamental to supporting our implementing agencies. The NSO provides services. We provide extensive education to our nurses to ensure that they're prepared and ready to go out and work with our families. We also are able to have resources through our business manager developments So for example, if a community is thinking about what program should they bring to the community, our business managers are able to go out and really engage to see if NFP is a good fit, because it's important for the community to embrace the program. So we have our business managers, we have the nurse consultants, and as a nurse consultant, I have the wonderful privilege of providing clinical consultation. So we are nurses first, as I mentioned, so we support them with the nursing process, assessment, professional development. We also look at operational efficiency things to ensure that the families are receiving the visits that they need. We also work around quality assurance. What's phenomenal about the NSO is that we also have an analytics department that's able to ensure that the data is going forth, so that agencies are giving program implementation reports, outcome reports, and more importantly, nurses, nurse supervisors, administrators of these programs can access the database to have real-time data to guide their practice and inform their decisions to ensure that we are on target to achieve the same outcomes that came from the clinical trials.
So all this stuff is very important, and these things are working.
Yes, definitely working. I would say especially working in North Carolina, and I base that on the 2,500 mothers that have been served, the 2,000 bouncing babies that were welcomed here in North Carolina, and over the 50,000 nurse home visits that were completed here in North Carolina. As a result, 89% of those babies were born full term, and 89% of those babies were born at a healthy weight. And we know how important that is for the babies to come into the world being healthy. But what's really impressive also, that as mothers that enrolled in our program that did not have their high school GED or diploma, what is so fascinating about that, 44% of those mothers have since earned that diploma, and another 26% are working to obtain it now. Now, this last statistic that I like to share that I get really excited about is that 72% of the mothers in North Carolina that completed our program decided to space out their pregnancy, so they did not have a subsequent pregnancy, because we know the additional problems and complications that can be associated with too closely spaced pregnancy. And that's impressive, 72%, when you look at a national sample of low-income mothers. Approximately, I would say about 39% of those mothers had a subsequent birth within 18 months. So here our mothers have decided at program completion 2 years later that that was not the right choice for them because of other goals that they would like to achieve.
We got about 30 seconds left in the program. Yes. Have any final thoughts to share with us about this program? What do you want people to remember?
Once again, please visit our website, nfpnc.org, and get involved, because it takes a village to raise our children. And I am just so excited to have had this opportunity to share our NFP with you and the community at large. So I'm looking forward to meeting everyone that's interested. So thank you.
Thank you, Marie. You're a great ambassador.
That's
all the time we have for this edition of For the Record. You go out and make it a great day. We'll see you back here next time.